where you have this character Theodore who falls in love essentially with a glorified version of Siri. She was called Samantha. So it's on, Samantha only lives on his cell phone and she knows everything about him and she speaks in this very seductive voice. I mean, unlike Siri, this is 20 years in the future. And so the question is raised by Samantha herself, well, am I actually real? Do I feel anything, or am I just a computer simulation? So once again, the general question is, can a computer simulation be conscious? Integrated information theory of consciousness clearly says no. There's a profound difference between the real and the simulated. Think of the following. Today we have advanced programs that simulate the weather on supercomputers, right? So you can predict whether it's going to be a rainstorm, whether it's going to rain tomorrow here in Manhattan. But it will never be wet inside the computer simulation, right? You can make computer simulation of the black hole at the center of our galaxy. And we know black hole exerts, the mass of the black hole twists space-time around it. It leads to the curvature in space-time around it. Well, but that computer simulation of that central black hole at the center of our galaxy, the mass around the computer simulation will not be twisted as it does at the center of our galaxy. So likewise, you can simulate consciousness, but consciousness itself is something different. It has to do with the causal power of the mechanism. So consciousness is generated by the causal power of our brain to act upon itself. In general, causal power acting upon itself, that is what generates consciousness. So if you simulate consciousness, you're only simulating the causal effect power of the transistor underlying the software. In other words, you only get the causal effect power of the transistor of the actual hardware underlying the computer simulation. So the computer itself will never be conscious. You can simulate the behavior of being conscious. You can simulate even the language. So you can simulate this computer simulation can tell you I'm conscious, but it doesn't feel like anything to be this computer simulation.